Archivists for Congregations of Women Religious Video Tutorial Accessioning and Accrual by Emily Reed Jordan, Digital and Audiovisual Records Archivist for the Sisters of Mercy of the Americas. This video tutorial is about accessioning accruals, which means how you, as the archivist and steward of your collections, take in material donations. First, what are accruals? Accruals are an acquisition of archival material additional to those that are already in the custody of the repository. So what does it mean to accession your accruals? What is accessioning? Accessioning is used sometimes as a noun and sometimes as an adjective. If you are accessioning something, you are taking legal and physical custody of a group of records or other materials to formally document their receipt. It's very important that the archivist makes the time to formally transfer ownership and make receipt for materials taken into the repository. This helps maintain the chain of custody over the records to maintain their authenticity over time, to safeguard the archives from ownership disputes, and to ensure proper citation of research materials, should they ever be used and promoted publicly. Here are some examples of accruals. You might get additions to ministry files gifted from the ministry itself. You might receive yearly or monthly administrative minutes, or a sister's relatives might donate personal papers or photographs to the community. And these accruals might come to you in a variety of ways too. Maybe you have a scheduled donation time set up with some departments, or maybe people drive by and leave things for you outside your door, or maybe people mail or email you packages. It doesn't matter whatever type of accrual you receive and in whatever manner. You want to do four main things to accession them. First, gain legal and physical control. What does it mean to gain physical control? It means to get physical custody or possession of the records. How do you do this? This one is simple. You physically take the records into your repository. If they are digital records, you move them into your repository's digital storage system. Then to gain legal control, the archives needs to have legal title to both the physical and intellectual property. This ensures that the material will be able to be used by researchers and the archives. You can do this by having a deed of gift signed. It should be clear and unambiguous, noting the name of the donor, name of the recipient, date of transfer, brief details about the material, a statement about the transfer of rights, a statement about restrictions, a statement about your disposal criteria and the authority to do so, and the signatures for the donor and recipient. Second, assign the accrual to a collection. You want to immediately designate what collection your accrual belongs to. This housekeeping task will help you in the future when you have time to go back to your accrual and process it. It'll also let you know where your new material needs to live in your repository. Third, record information about the accrual. There are a couple key things you want to know about your accrual. This information is important because 1, you may not be able to process the material right away, and so you need to write down the information for later. This gives you intellectual control of the material and helps you write finding aids, provide access, and prioritize conservation needs. And 2, you should always have a paper trail for your material. It helps protect you from disputes or audits. The quickest and easiest way to do all of this is to create a uniform accrual form that you fill out every time you get an accrual. Here's an example of one. On your form, you'll want to note the transfer method of the material. How did it get to you? You'll also want to assign or record a unique ID for the material. This is where you'll note the accession number of the collection you assigned the accrual to. It could also mean noting any index numbers, file names, hard drive names, or checksums that come with the material. You'll also want to confirm authenticity of the material. Your authenticity checking for paper records is probably something as simple as knowing the provenance of the material. For digital records, you'll want to check their checksums against your own. On the accrual form, you'll want to make provenance notes about where your material came from and also record brief content notes about the material. If the material came with any conservation notes, or if you notice any immediate conservation needs for the material, like if there's mold, bugs, or extreme media decay, write that down. And last, record any access restrictions that the material came with, or assign any restrictions that your repository uses. For example, 30-year holds for administrative minutes, and etc. Please remember that creating an accrual form is up to you. You get to decide what it looks like and the detail you record things. Perhaps you want a really detailed contents note. Make instructions for that. Perhaps you don't deal with or have the capacity to deal with checksums. Then don't include those. Maybe you want to include an accrual location field on the form. Add it. Make your accrual form so that it serves you and your repository. Fourth and last, you're going to separate the accrual. This separate space safeguards your collection should you get an accrual in that is infested with bugs or things like mold. It allows you to distinguish what material needs processing from what doesn't. It gives you easy access to the material that needs work, and most importantly, it allows you to begin implementing archival storage and environmental controls. Thank you to the ACWR Board and Technology Committee for producing these tutorials. You can find more information and resources at the ACWR website. Archivists, ACWR